Sony has expressed its concerns regarding Microsoft's proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard. In documents submitted to the UK's Competition and Markets Authority, CMA, Sony has outlined a number of apprehensions about the future of Activision's Call of Duty franchise. One of their worries is that Microsoft could increase the price of Call of Duty and make it exclusive to their own Xbox Game Pass subscription service. Furthermore, Sony is concerned that Microsoft could intentionally or unintentionally lower the quality and performance of Call of Duty on PlayStation. To illustrate this point, Sony has given a specific example of a hypothetical scenario where Microsoft could release a version of Call of Duty on PlayStation that has bugs and errors that only become apparent in the game's final level or after subsequent updates. Even if these issues were quickly identified, it is likely that the damage to PlayStation's reputation as a reliable platform to play Call of Duty would already have been done. The popularity of Call of Duty is usually highest in the first few weeks after its release, as seen in Modern Warfare 2. If it became common knowledge that the game performed worse on PlayStation compared to Xbox, players might switch to Xbox to avoid playing the game on an inferior platform. Sony is worried that Microsoft could intentionally or unintentionally harm Call of Duty on PlayStation in various ways, such as reducing the quality and performance of the game, disregarding PlayStation-specific features, or neglecting investment in multiplayer on PlayStation. Sony does not clarify whether Microsoft's actions would be intentional or a result of their close relationship with Call of Duty, which could make it function better on Xbox. The company increasing concern about Microsoft prioritizing Call of Duty on their own platform and disregarding new Sony hardware features. Both companies have been competing for Call of Duty rights for years, offering exclusive skins, bonuses, and packs to attract gamers to their respective consoles. This is not a surprising concern for Sony given the ongoing competition between the two companies. Intentionally sabotaging Call of Duty on PlayStation with bugs is unlikely as it would generate backlash for both Activision and Microsoft. The reality may be more subtle, with bug fixes being prioritized on Xbox versions of the game because developers are more familiar with the platform, or fixes could be issued quicker on Xbox. While there are reasonable concerns about Call of Duty gaining subtle advantages on Xbox, it's unlikely to be part of a corporate strategy to hurt Call of Duty on PlayStation and lose revenue for both the platform holder and publisher. Microsoft may keep Call of Duty on Xbox Game Pass and not allow Sony to offer the game on its own PlayStation Plus service. On the other hand, Microsoft claims that any COD game in a Microsoft multi-game subscription is eligible for inclusion in Sony's multi-game subscription service simultaneously and for the same duration. However, Sony is not happy with the licensing terms or pricing. The document is heavily redacted, but Sony says that the terms would commercially destroy their multi-game subscription business model. Microsoft has offered Sony a 10-year deal on Call of Duty, but Sony has not yet signed the license. Microsoft recently signed a 10-year agreement with Nintendo to bring Call of Duty to their platforms and then announced a similar deal with Nvidia in an attempt to pressure Sony to agree to similar terms. Sony claims in its CMA filing that Microsoft has not demonstrated a genuine commitment to achieving a mutually agreed-upon resolution. According to Sony, Microsoft has been slow to act and has only engaged in negotiations when the regulatory environment appeared unfavorable. This statement may refer to a deal proposed by Microsoft that was deemed unsatisfactory by PlayStation chief Jim Ryan, who publicly criticized it. The CMA documents, which were recently made public, were filed last month, shortly after the British regulator warned of potential harm to gamers and proposed remedies that include forcing Microsoft to sell off Activision Blizzard's Call of Duty-related business. Sony accuses Microsoft of lacking genuine commitment to reaching a negotiated outcome and instead dragging its feet, only engaging when regulatory prospects dimmed and preferring media negotiation to dealing with Sony Interactive Entertainment, SI. The statement likely refers to The Verge's disclosure of details regarding Microsoft's proposed deal, which was deemed inadequate by PlayStation chief Jim Ryan. CMA documents, made public weeks after the UK regulator warned of harm to gamers, propose possible remedies like the divestment of Call of Duty. Sony supports the CMA's initial findings and urges structural remedies. The CMA analyzes over 3 million Microsoft and Activision documents and 2,100 public emails, while the UK regulator reviews feedback on potential remedies, with a final verdict due by April 26. Meanwhile, EU regulators may approve Microsoft's $68.7 billion deal due to licensing deals with Nvidia and Nintendo, and the European Commission is unlikely to require the sale of Activision Blizzard assets as a prerequisite for regulatory clearance. Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe.